Those are my words exactly. In the Morelos Mountains, campesinos are planting their fields, where the ghost of Zapata rides a horse that can still outrun the wheel. High in the sky above and clear out of sight, it's the free Mexican Air Force flying tonight. Well, there in Kentucky, a cowgirl is cooling her heels, remembering that God gave us herbs and the fruits of the field. But a criminal law that makes outlaws of those seeking life make the free Mexican Air Force Escalito riding the white horse. The free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight, flying so high. Yeah. How strange and innocent herb causes money to burn. They'll jail you or kill you for making those rich fat cats squirm. But nothing can stop us, my vision is clearly in sight, and the free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight. While we smoking colitas, federales are loading their guns, blowing smoke from their six-shooters, spinning their barrels for fun. Contrabandistas, banditos of life, we're the free Mexican Air Force and we're flying tonight. And high in the hills we are harvesting sweet sensimilla. The law wants it all, but they think the wine we can free us. Freedom for us is a prison for the rulers of might. That's why the free Mexican Air Force, Escalito riding his white horse. The free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight. Everybody flying so high. Yeah. Flying tonight.
Good evening, Bruce Gas with ya. Tuesday night fights, man. Tuesday night fights, my favorite night of the week. My favorite place to be, man. My favorite night of the week, and my favorite place to be. Me and Toka too, man. We're sitting here holding up the fort. Got me a nice bud of the do-si-do here to relax, and when this thing is as clean as this, you can taste that You can taste that weed. You can taste this here has. I almost forgot, man. But last time I had it in my head here. Right? Here. It's a chocolatey almondy going in. And kind of a little tint of the diesel coming out your tailpipe going out. But anyway, man, I'm here on Tuesday Night Fights, man, to talk about rematches. And if you guys follow me, if you follow my well, I'm sure you guys are all sub to me and shit. But we have this thing after we get 500 subs. It's called the community page, and man, I just love it, bro. I just love it. It's almost like a Twitter thing. We can put polls up, or we can put just little, whatever on our mind. And what I've been doing lately is on this date. It's just something I found something that puts on this date in the internet. And there's always something happening in boxing, bro. Boxing been around since Cain and Abel went at it, man. And every day is an anniversary, and I like to find one in there and put it up. And man, I feel good about it. It's real quick and real easy, and plus it kind of enhances my computer skills over here, which I'm so lacking in. But it's a lot of fun. And anyway, man, I'm gonna bring up my co-host, man, my brother from day one over here, man. I wonder if the other duo will show up. But anyway, man, this is my brother George Jakovic, man. My good friend from the internet, man. Salute my brother George Jacks. How's happening, my baby? What's happening?
So good to be here. It's Tuesday night. Back home.
Man, I saw you gobbling your food in the back there, bro.
Yeah, I had to do it. It's been too long. It's been a few weeks, so I was starting to get jittery,
we call that the withdrawals. Jones
Exactly.
From Tuesday Night Fight.
Exactly.
But anyway, man, and with the anniversary thing in my mind, today was the anniversary of a fight, and I mentioned it to you in Bango. You said, "Damn, I worked that fight," because George is a former producer from HBO, bro. George, unbelievable. Shane Mosley and Oscar De La Hoya, and you were there at ringside.
I was there ringside. If I had enough time, I could find my credential. It's somewhere around here, but I was ringside for that fight because my job that night, Bob Costas used to be the host at the desk for the pay-per-views, and he didn't know a lot about boxing, so they wanted to pair him. He knows every other sport. He just didn't really know boxing. So they wanted to pair him with someone who knew. So that was my job, to make sure he knew what he was talking about. And I was there, and I thought that Sugar going in, I was all Sugar Shane. I thought Sugar Shane was gonna win the fight. I mean, we're gonna play the fight. I thought Oscar won that fight. It was a great fight.
All right, let me go back and give a yell out, man. A few people have been bopping in here, man. And George, I say it every time, but man, that I appreciate that so much when I see people come in here, because man, I could give you a fucking call and I could say, "Hey, George, the anniversary of Mosley and De La Hoya," and you say, "Oh man, I worked that fight," and you and I could talk on the phone for 2 hours about that fight. But it's so cool to come on here, and I look and I see a dozen people or so coming in here, man.
Yeah.
And oh, bro, it humbles me. I want to shout them all out and thank them individually for coming in here, man.
Absolutely.
First guy in here was Dick Justice. Shout out my brother Dick Justice. Memphis Freestyle 901, bro. Peace to you, man. Mr. Pads always showing love. My brother Mr. Pads, man. Salute. And I just found my clicker here. And Dick Justice is here too, bro. Let's see who else is in here, man. Because Jose Diaz, my brother, on the boat, man. Always working hard on the water, man. Shout out to my bro Jose Diaz. Who else we got in here, man? Carlos Mendoza, Ireland's finest, man. Shout out to you, brother. That guy, man. Peace to you, man. Peace to you. My man Cali X, bro. This guy's got a good channel, George. You'd like him, man. Check him out someday.
Yeah, I will.
Sub him, put your bell on, because he comes on all the time, and he comes on at very convenient times for us East Coasters, bro. And I think he's down in Louisiana, and a good man, bro. Definitely check out Cali X, man. And that goes for everybody in here too, man. Or you're gonna get banned and blocked or whatever they do to you in YouTubeville these days. Teach, salute my brother. Teach, thank you for coming by, man. Appreciate it, man. BK, evening, my brother. Evening to you, man. All right, man. Let's get started, George. Now, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to start with with the early fight, my thumbnail fight, bro. I mean, this is one. I think it was July 22nd, 1938 or so, 39. That Joe Louis and Max Schmeling rematch, man.
Mm.
That's the beginning of all rematches, man. It was one short, brutal round. Let me see if I have it in here. Yeah, I do. Great, man. Great, great.
And talk about a change, because Lewis was unbeaten when he fought Schmeling the first time. And I've read the articles like you. Schmeling said he found a flaw that Lewis was open for a right hand. So Schmeling won their first fight. So Joe Louis at this time was heavyweight champ, but he said he wasn't going to consider himself heavyweight champ until he fought and beat Max
Exactly,
Schmeling.
exactly, man. This is I got this information from like Ring magazines. They'd have
Yep.
every every year or so they'd have a special edition to Joe Louis, and they had and I'd lay there in bed and I'd read about Joe Louis and Billy Kahn
Mm.
and the Bum of the Month Club. And I mean all Joe Louis in the beginning when he fought all the ex champions like the Primo Caneras and the Jack Sharkies, and then he ran into this guy Max Schmeling who sat ringside. I don't remember what fight it was, but like you said, man, he says I Z something,
Mm-hmm.
and that's folklore, man. That's like down goes Frazier.
Yeah.
You know
Big
anybody?
upset. Big upset when Schmeling beat Lewis.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And after that, Joe went on to win the heavyweight championship of the world, and like you said, he wasn't satisfied until he got that rematch, until he avenged that defeat. And
Mm.
we're gonna check that one out. Mr. Gumbo, my brother, salute to you, my man. And Mr. Gumbo's another one, George. Mr. Gumbo, he knows Sheldon LeBlanc. I think it's his cousin. Sheldon LeBlanc, the amateur, the professional welterweight back in Mark Breland's day.
Yes. Yep.
And
Oh, that's cool.
he wants to come on one of these days on a Tuesday night fight with us, man. We can talk some.
Ah,
We can talk some boxing. But anyway, man, let's
yes.
let's check this fight out. And I want you. Another thing about this fight is the referees. Where's that background noise coming from? Can you hear it? Is that me?
I think that's you.
How can that be me?
Now you're completely muted.
Is that possibly in the music?
I thought that was your background music.
Yeah, it is. It's just a little higher in the percussion. I thought that was a disturbance to the show. But anyway, man, another thing about this fight is that referee was told under no circumstances do you stop this fight. I don't care if they throw the towel in, and pay attention because he throws the towel out in this unbelievably slick way between his legs, and because this was a fight where it was the Nazis against the Americans, basically the Allies. I mean, the whole world stopped for this fight. This fight was huge, man. It was the world was watching this fight. Hitler was behind Max Schmeling.
Could you
Joe Louis
imagine,
was for America,
man?
and man,
Imagine how it was just to be alive during that period, be an American, and have Joe Louis, who obviously went through a lot of things, being a African American fighter, but for that night, he was. I mean, he was representing the country. He wasn't a black
he
fighter.
was.
He was representing America that night in
Mhm.
Yankee Stadium. Just imagine what it was like back then. Imagine being in the crowd for that fight.
They say the hookers took the night off. It was that big a
Now,
fight.
that's a big fight. If that happens, oh, it's a big
But
fight.
this I read in a 1930s mag, old newspaper clipping. But anyway, let's watch this too. Well,
Whew.
youngins by today's standards.
But just I love these rematches that are completely different from the first fight because Schmeling dominated that first fight. and it was a completely different ball game.
I watched that first fight. Just Do Boxing. Salute my brother. I watched that fight on film, and William Old School. Salute. And you could see Schmeling just timing that right hand. And in the second fight, he had one chance to throw it, and it wasn't even a solid right hand. Joe Louis was just a different animal that night. That's what they call adjusting.
Yeah.
That's what they call, and not only that, but he was already the heavyweight champion of the world, and he never gloated it, never even had himself introduced at any affairs until that fight was avenged. And man, did he avenge it!
Whew. Man, what a night! Just would have been amazing to be alive back then. And I always say that to you, Bruce, like to experience those nights. Like I was alive when Ali and Frazier fought, but I was like 2, so I don't know what the
Mm.
atmosphere was. You can
Oh,
remember what the world was like, what the country was like then.
nothing like today. It was more on a sportsman's level. I mean, it was crazy, all different aspects. But you know what I'm saying. Today it's different. Today it's YouTube wars, and it's just, I think people that have nothing better to do. They don't really know that much about boxing and fighting in general, and it's all out of whack. It's not like it was back on the days of the Tuesday night fights, bro.
No, you're right. You're right. And um, to bring up the old days, so to speak, and today, in 3 days, it's the 41st anniversary, I believe, of Leonard Hearns 1. The only reason why I'm bringing that up is it was a welterweight unification fight. Leonard was 25, Hearns was 22. Somehow they came together and made the fight. Now you know, you have Spence and Crawford who are in their 30s, still can't make the fight. I guess they call it marinating. I don't know what they call it, but it was just different times, man. For Leonard and Hearns to be 25 and 22 and unify the welterweight titles, and we can't even get it done today.
No, something is wrong. But see, the more I get into this, and the more that I have the privilege of talking to people who are behind the scenes and know and deal with boxing as a business, I'm learning a lot on a daily basis. Like, even like last night, I spoke with Rick Glazer, and he told me things where he explained to me why boxing isn't on network TV anymore, because they can't compete with cable. They
Right.
can't compete with the pay-per-view promotions. So they're not even a consideration anymore. And I'm saying, but that's the way we were weaned on boxing. And he's like, it's a whole different animal. And
It's
it,
just
it,
how
it
it
is
is.
it
Yeah.
is it's all
It's
business. From what I understand about Crawford and Spence, the money that they want, and the different avenues where they can sell that fight, they don't make ends meet.
no.
It's huge in North America, but there are several other markets that are major markets that have to click, or they're not going to. The money they want is just too crazy. But man, yeah, rematches, bro. George, how about the fan man? Wasn't that a trip? Do you remember that? Were you too young for that one?
No, no. Oh no. I was watching that. That was a pay-per-view. Bo, you're talking about Bo Holyfield too. Yeah. I I was like everyone else. I was at home and just stunned when the fight just stopped and no one knew what was happening.
Let me.
And it was the Fad Man,
Mm, mm.
which I'm sure a lot of people, most of the people that subscribe to you know who that is, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who have no idea. If you say Fan Man, they
Well,
don't know who
well,
that
well,
is.
well, 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 let's explain it, man. Let's talk about it, bro. I mean, that the first fight was unbelievable, man.
Mm.
Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield, William Old School, bro. That was truly old school, that fight. These guys, Riddick Bowe never looked better. Evander Holyfield never looked better. They just tore into each other for 12 rounds. Bowe, I don't know if it was a unanimous decision or
I
a
think it was a
majority.
close unanimous decision, but Bo was in shape. He was like 235. Man, he was just motivated, in shape, and Holyfield. Yeah, Holyfield was heavyweight champ, but he never got at that point. He got no credit because he beat Buster Douglas, who I'm not going to say he threw the fight. Buster Douglas was not the Buster Douglas that beat Tyson. But then Holyfield fought Larry Holmes. He fought George Foreman. So he was on this like he was just taking on these older fighters, and he wasn't super popular back then. And people, you know, in that loss, he gained a lot more fans than he did than in most of his wins before, especially at heavyweight. But the Fan Man night was just it was crazy, and it was I want to say it was about a year after their first fight, and Bo had beat Holyfield, and he had that one title defense against Michael Dokes. But then they had their rematch in November '93. Super close fight, and this is the round, I believe, right?
I don't know, man.
Yep. No, this is perfect, and this is how
the fan man just came in,
and people were like,
"Oh, they're jumping on him, pounding him." I mean, this crazy guy, he was some kind of a nut, man. He was flying around on this propelled parachute, and he was trying to circle the ring, and he just landed in it, got caught in the lights. He came down.
I mean, he's lucky no one got hurt.
Riddick Bowe's people jumped on him. They were pounding him, and good thing he had that helmet on. But his name was Jimmy Miller. He passed away, in the last few years. But he was a kind of a folk hero, the Fan Man. This fight was beginning to building up as an awesome fight, and what happened was the Fan Man stopped it. What was it, the 7th round? And there we go. They're showing him right now.
That was earlier in the night. That's what the cameras caught. That hours before, he was just circling the out, because this was an outdoor arena in Las Vegas when they fought outside. But just an insane. Oh, look at that! That's a wide angle shot. Just he's lucky that those lights could have come down. There could have been fires. There could have been people killed.
Oh.
But it was just mayhem. So it was a 21-minute delay.
That's all it was? I thought it was longer than that.
It was a 21-minute delay, which, I mean, that's for a fighter. That's
insane, man. I watched that live, and that was before terrorism. Mm-hmm. If that was around the time of terrorism, can you imagine the riots in there? I mean, they're showing.
Well, he would have never gotten close enough. I mean, he would have been shot out of the sky today. And they don't even do outdoor fights today.
Because of that? Or maybe, possibly, but yeah, Caesar's Palace was big. And Bo claimed that he had cooled off because, Riddick Bowe, inexperienced, but he just had so much natural talent. But he didn't have the discipline.
No, that's the thing. You're exactly right. He was 11 pounds heavier this fight than he was the first fight. Imagine if he had discipline. If he had the discipline that Holyfield had, you'd be talking about Riddick Bowe as one of the all-time great fighters. Look at that. Look at that. And Bowe's like, what's going on? Look, he landed right next to the camera guy. I mean.
Oh, and he got that big spinning fan, too, that's... Yeah, see, I just saw highlights and I clipped this one. I didn't preview it, but it is kind of very interesting because this is what this fight is known for. After all these years, the rematch. Random Acoustic Thoughts, my brother. Salute, man. Appreciate you coming by, bro. I appreciate it. Check out Random Acoustic Thoughts, man. This man's a young historian. He hangs with the old historians, and he puts out some real good stuff. Judge, he's another one, man. I give him 5 stars over there, bro. In a few more years, we're going to have to bow our heads when Random Acoustic Thoughts starts speaking about boxing because he's becoming an encyclopedia. So shout out to Random Acoustic Thoughts, man.
Craziness. Only in boxing. Only in boxing do you have nights like this.
I mean, this was so bizarre. We're calling up people on the phone saying, man, I'm not sure if this was pay-per-view or regular HBO.
It was pay-per-view.
It was See, I had the black box, so I was covered on all angles, bro.
So you were good.
I was good.
You were good.
I was golden, man.
Yeah.
I was so good, man. Life was so good back then. Oh, look at this! Look at this crazy ass fan, man.
See the camera now. The story behind the cameraman zooming in and out. He wasn't on a headset, so he was doing that so someone in the truck would know. Look what's happening. There's a guy that's circling the stadium. That's why he was zooming in and out right then. Just craziness. Just
Just,
craziness.
just bizarre. I mean, I'm learning stuff here that I either forgot about or didn't know. But yep, man, they're warming up to get back into action here, and
Eddie Futch.
that's kind of the end of this highlight reel. But that's just one of the many of the so many rematches that
And Holyfield won that one, a split decision, I believe, in the
yep.
rematch. And nobody thought Holyfield was going to win that rematch.
No, nobody did. Nobody did.
No one. Oh man,
And let's see, bro, how about the brawl up in Lewiston, Maine? The biggest upset in the history of boxing, man. You know, the guy who's my favorite boxer, Muhammad Ali, when he had the rematch with Sonny Liston, there was so much in there we read about, and so much history there. And I want to show you something too. My sister-in-law gave me this the other day. She just, she put it together just with she pulled it out of a newspaper and she framed it, a magazine or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very cool, man. You know, it's going to go behind me on the wall soon, but I just haven't had the.
You see behind me, right above my head. You can't see it that great, but it's that picture that a buddy of mine drew. He drew that picture, an artist friend of mine, and I framed it, and that's right behind me.
Oh, send it to me, George.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tomorrow.
I'll be looking out for it, man. I'll be looking out for it. Now, how about this Ali Liston fight, though? It was really something up there, man. And I don't know if I've told you this story before, but my dad went to that fight.
To the rematch? And oh wow.
He went to the rematch, but I mean, this is the funniest story, and I guess this is folklore with me, bro. He went to that fight. 4 guys from Warren, Rhode Island. They got in an Oldsmobile, and they drove up there all night long. And they got there, and they're all drinking beer, bro. They're all smashed when they got there. My father had to go to the men's room, and there was a line at the men's room, and he was in the men's room.
Oh,
When he came out, the fight was over. And it was like, my father was not a fan of Muhammad Ali, man, a Cassius Clay at the time. But yeah, that was another rematch, man. Let's see. Why don't we go back to your rematch, bro? And we got a bunch of them in here. Let's see. What that was the fight that George pretty much. Let's see. We got you want to watch the full fight? Because we got the highlights here.
I think the highlights are good because there's a lot of highlights, so it's probably a pretty long clip.
Yeah, it is, bro. It is, man. It's 9 minutes, so
19 years ago, man.
Cool. 19 years ago to this day, and it's funny because, I stated earlier, I throw it up in the community page. Oh shit! I just instead of putting it on screen, I just took it off screen. All right, my producing skills are getting better with every attempt. But yeah, man, I like to put what this day in boxing, and you got me with another one in a couple of days. Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns, man, because I was digging that fight too. But anyway, George, give us a little background on this and how you got involved in this fight, man.
Well, I mean, they fought 3 years before this at 147, and it was a great fight. It was Sugar Shane's 3rd fight at welterweight, and he beat Oscar. Just a great 12-round fight. I think what I remember most about that fight.
Crocodile Hunter. But anyway, man, yeah, bro. I remember watching this fight. It was when I was working myself full time, so I wasn't going head over heels into boxing. I didn't have the time to deal with it like I am now. But huge rematch. If it was anything like the first fight, controversy, and once again, this was for WBA pounds of fat. That's not like a Roberto Duran 20 pounds.
Right.
That's 20 pounds of lean mass, and that's very hard to put on, especially at an athlete, a peaked athlete at his age. It's damn near impossible without performance-enhancing drugs. And Shane Mosley, has pretty much admitted, if not admitted to to using. Other people have other people who have helped him with his injections have the fight when I watched it. But like I said earlier, I wasn't immersed in boxing as much as I was earlier in my life and later in my life. But I thought Oscar won it, and I didn't have a dog. I didn't have a dog in the fight, so I looked at it like a real cool fight, champions meeting. And now, like 19 years later, bro, it's still on our minds, which is something you don't see with a lot of these fights today. You think in 20 years people are still going to be talking about
guy that's still remembered, and I don't think he's had a fight in 30 some odd years. And people know in boxing, you know who Bobby Chacon is.
For sure, bro, for sure. And this was a close fight, man. I didn't catch those scores that just popped up. I'm a little slow.
106.
And you can come on here while we're talking about Bobby Chacon, and you can do us that honor, because we'll definitely bring that fight up here. Let me all right, here. Let's see. Got to go into invite. Copy that. Close that. Put that in here.
So September 7th, 2016 is when Bobby passed. So it's been 6 years since he passed away.
That's for Tim out there, bro. Here you go, my brother. And let me see if I can find the highlights from this fight.
It's like any Bobby Chacon fight you throw up, it's going to be a great.
Well, I got a good little highlight reel from this one. I think I hope anyway. I didn't see it. I pulled it up because it's funny, man. These shows are so much fun to do, and it's like every week, man. I gotta get a topic up, and man, I even did a show today in honor of a brother of mine from the bodybuilding world. His name was Jerry Ward, and I didn't have any idea, but then I started hearing people talk about rematches today online, and I said, "Shit!" I saw, the anniversary of De La Hoya and Mosley, and I said, man, rematches, and I started writing them down, and I'm saying, Ollie Liston, Holyfield Tyson, Holyfield Bogue, Chacon Edwards, Pryor Aguayo, Louis Schmeling. I said, "Shit, man!" I said, "We can go up there and we can talk about rematches, and we can
24-hour show on that.
24-hour show." But I'm bringing up a guest right now, man, and Jeff Lucietta, bro. You know it, bro. Great for boxing, bro. Great for boxing. So I'm bringing up the nephew of Bobby Chacon, who we're gonna talk about in the next fight, man. This is the Skywalker, Tim Musi. Tim, my brother.
What's up, George?
What's up, brother?
What's up, Bruce? Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, man. We were just talking about your uncle.
Nice, man. Thank you, guys.
So 6 years I see since he passed.
Yeah, he wasn't doing too good at the end, bro. Boxer dementia is no joke. That's another reason they switched from 15 rounds to 12 rounds. He took a lot of damage,
Did you see him a lot the last 10 years or so of his
No,
life?
to be honest with you, I didn't see him. Last time I seen him was in 1999.
Wow.
It was the last time I seen him. Seen him in 95, 99. My family was kind of spread apart, but it's my mom's brother. So he was raised in California. My grandfather got deported, so he crossed back the border and raised my mom and everybody in Chicago. And they ended up coming back to El Paso, but they stayed in California. Let me show you a picture. Yeah, there he is right there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he was a smile on his face. There's his gloves right here.
Wow. So you didn't see him since '99? Is that just because his life was just kind of it was rough for him?
Yeah, he was taking off, man. He had a lot of love and support. Everybody in LA knew him. But his dementia was so bad that he was homeless on Skid Row out there.
Yeah.
And You know, he had people that loved him, you know, and he has support, but it's just, you know, you can't handle, you know, it's kind of like mental disease, you
Yeah.
know. But he was always friendly. If you've seen any of the documentaries online,
I've seen those. Yeah.
yeah, he's very friendly. You see him walking up to people, and people think he's crazy. You know, it's
Just
just that.
heartbreaking, man. You know,
Yeah,
just
Let me shout out Boxing Progress, who stopped in here, man. Thanks for coming by, man. I haven't seen you here before. Hope I see you in here again, man. Salute.
you know.
And my brother
yeah,
Picasso here, man. Salute to Picasso. And thank you guys for stopping in, man. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I know you're subscribed by Progress, man. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm trying to get more subscribers so I can get bigger and more important guests on here than fucking George Jakovic and
Hey,
Timmy
whoa,
Timmy the
whoa.
Skywalker. But hey, man, help us out here, man. You know, pretty soon we'll be asking for super chats. We'll be just like all the rest of these clowns out here. And
yeah.
I appreciate the thumbs up, and I appreciate the sub. So anyway, guys, let's talk about Bobby over here, man. You know, the first time I didn't see Bobby. The first time his name came to me, it was from a magazine, and he beat an upstart, bro, a guy named Danny Little Red Lopez,
Yeah.
Mhm.
who beat Sean O'Grady, who was knocking everybody out, came out of California, who was an
Yep.
Indian chief, red-headed Indian chief, and
Right.
Bobby stopped him. Bobby won the fight, man. And when it was like, who is this guy, Bobby Chacon?
It was a shocker. Yeah.
Reading about the guy, and he just went to Mexico. He fought everybody and won a world title really early in his career. Went crazy, got the shit kicked out of him in the rematch. I mean, you know, and he fought a hard. That's the way his life was. Bobby Chacon, he liked to party.
Yeah.
Later on, TV got in the picture. Bobby started making big purses, big at the time. I mean, unheard of for Bobby.
Good money. Yeah, my uncle made really good money, man. I think his net worth.
Unheard of.
Yeah.
And he
He.
started fighting guys like Cornelius Boza Edwards and Rafael Bazooka Lamone, and having these fights of the year. And they were on ABC's Wide World of Sport. And this was another one, man. I'm gonna pull this one up, man. This was like Bobby and Cornelius Boza Edwards, the rematch, the theme of this show.
He almost fought a young Camacho back in the day with Don King, and the negotiations were wrong.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that because Camacho ended up fighting Lamone.
Yeah, he got
Um,
stripped. He got
yeah.
stripped. Yeah.
So Tim, besides the boxing part, I mean, this is your uncle. So, what do you remember most about him? Like talk about some of the good times. I know you had good times with your uncle.
I had, but the thing is, my Mexican side of the family, bro, there was a lot of drama, man, between the split up. You know what I mean? With him being split up, he went wild, got deported. So his relationship with Bobby wasn't very good. So I didn't have him in my life until my grandfather was getting sick and old. You
Mhm.
know, and that's when they started actually communicating and talking again. He had a stepdad that raised him, but I only have a few memories of him, bro. When I was a teenager, my grandfather boxed, so it's always been in me. I watched all these fights, you know, with my grandfather, you know, like he'd have them all record, you know, the VHS, you know, and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And, he had
I'll
fight.
tell you, this was a dog fight. I think
Yeah,
Boza Edwards beat him the first time, and this was the rematch. Bobby Chacon, coming back for. I think he might have lost the title to Boza Edwards, but man, this was an amazing fight.
I mean, Bobby fought everyone. He fought Alexis Arguello. He didn't beat everyone, but he fought everyone, and he beat a lot of guys.
Duck nobody.
He beat a lot of guys. And
he
you
had
talk
a
about
he had
real
a
life
son.
Rocky
He had a
fights,
son,
man.
Bobby Jr. Bobby Jr. got killed. And he's my cousin, I guess, you know. But gang banging, you know, LA, it's rough out there, bro. So he took kind of it's in a bad area.
Shout out to the Iceman. Salute, my brother.
Was this recently that Bobby's?
No, it was during I wouldn't say that recently, but yeah, maybe like I don't know. I have to look it up, man. The year.
Wow, just sad, very old.
Yeah, he went through a lot of shit. He lost his son. He lost his wife.
His wife. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like a movie. His life was like a movie. His fights were like a movie.
And
Like
he's
this fight right here.
Richard Green, the referee, the famous referee from Chavez and Taylor. Known for stopping fights, but man, this fight is not to be stopped.
Cornelius Boza Edwards was a great fighter himself.
Oh yeah, I believe he's still alive. He still lives in Las Vegas.
I know he was in Mayweather's gym. I don't know if he's still there. He worked there for a while.
Yeah, he was an incredible fighter. His fight with Alexis Aguayo was like, he knocks Bobby down. And Bobby,
he's like,
down. That was a flash knockdown for sure, man. Bobby knows exactly where he is, and he's sorry about that, man.
There's always the same people on the top. Like Rolando Navarrete took his title, Boza Edwards, and then he fought Bazooka Limon, which was another common opponent of my uncle, but he never fought my uncle, the Filipino great Rolando Navarrete.
Yeah, I remember Rolando.
Mm-hmm. I saw Navarrete and Limon. What a fight that was.
They would hand them titles to each other, wouldn't they?
Oh man, and great fights too.
Yeah.
CBS kind of had the lock on those fights. You know that CBS was behind the lighter weight fighters back then, man. But yeah, these were great fights, man. Caesar's Palace in the afternoon. Oh.
But Bobby was one of those fighters that would come back from the brink of destruction. You know, when you thought he was about to lose, this guy comes back. This is real. This isn't Rocky. This is real. You know, everyone loves the movies and Rocky. This is better than Rocky, and it's real.
Unbelievable.
Like, look at this right here. Look at this. Look at this exchange for the last 40 seconds.
And Richard Green, he knows to stay away. He knows that these guys are not huggers. They're gonna fight out of these clinches. Just great stuff. And Boza Edwards knows exactly what he's doing on the inside. You wouldn't think it either by looking at the guy, but he was like another classic. I mean, these two. I don't know how many times they fought. I'm sure they fought more than twice. Or maybe not, but I know that.
Twice.
Twice. Bobby doesn't want to get away from him here.
Yeah.
It seems like just to me, it seems like they fought more than that because they were just always talked about and always highlighted together and shit. But they were.
Bazooka and him were four. It was 4 times. That shit's crazy. That was a rivalry.
Yeah, I don't think you could see that again today.
It's like you're stunned when you watch these fights,
right?
Because it's just toe to toe.
They're great. I mean, it's rare nowadays. Like, used to get more of that. I guess back. If you look at all the old fights, man, the years and shit, and you're like, damn, this year was fucking badass. Yeah, nonstop action. You know, no fights being canceled. None of that shit. Just fucking straight fighting, man.
Yep, and you had the Don King himself, bro, running most of these fights, and he's a character. I don't know if any of you guys have been watching the Netflix, the Hulu series, Mike.
Oh yeah, I've been keeping up with it. Yeah,
I can't do it, man. I saw the guy that's playing Mike, and I can't do it. And it's not. And I know Tyson is pissed because he said Hulu basically stole his. He wasn't consulted. They just took his story and ran with it. I watched about 5 minutes of it. I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm not against anyone who is watching it, but I couldn't.
Right.
The guy looked like Frank Bruno. Like he looked
so
like
Tyson wasn't cool with it, bro.
And
no, Tyson said
Tyson.
Tyson has said that Hulu treated him like a slave, and they didn't consult him. He wasn't paid any money. He's very, very much against Hulu and what they're doing with this series.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I thought he was on board with it, bro. I had no clue on that shit. Wow.
No.
Oh no. He's mad as hell. He's gonna have lawyers as fast as he can on them, bro. But I've been watching it. Episode 5. I just
Is it good?
I just watched it
It's
yesterday.
pretty damn good. Yeah, man.
It's interesting. You know, it's like anything else. The final product.
It's
If
like you
the
know
only
the
thing I watch,
story,
the
but
only thing
the
I
way
watch,
they
the only let me finish my thought for 1 second here, bro. The only thing I watch on fucking social media is boxing sites and movies that usually things that contain boxes or fights like Cobra Kai. I found out that's on again. I'll start watching that. Now, but I'll watch the whole fucking thing in 2 days. And now this Tyson thing, I like it, bro. I'm so sorry for Mike, and I'm sure he's going to get money out of it because it's they use him. But this is raw. This is freaking hardcore, and it's just kind of interesting. I don't think the thing with Desiree was quite correct, but hey, man, it's cool, man. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry about that, bro.
no. I forgot what I was
What do
gonna
you
say.
think of it? What do you think? What do you think of the show?
It's pretty good, man. The way they, like the story. That's what I was getting at. Is like we know these stories. We know about Desiree. We know what happens to Tyson, the prison, him coming out.
I even know one better, bro. I live in Rhode Island. That's where Desiree's from, and people who know her say that she pulled that in the past, and she's a victim all the time. She cries rape a lot, and,
Right.
kind of like the boy who cried wolf. But I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't say anything. It's done. Tyson knows. He's gonna. He paid his price on earth for that. So I love Mike Tyson, man.
Yeah, he's my hero. That's what's holding my phone is my Tyson glove.
Just could he just had it. He had his moment, man. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, so I can't say.
As great as Mike Tyson was, he never had a fight like Bobby Chacon where he was hurt and came back and won the fight. As great as Mike Tyson was, when he was behind in a fight, he never
Yeah.
came back and won
Never,
like Bobby
never.
Chacon did.
That's
And
when
I
Mike
love
Tyson
Mike Tyson.
crumbled. Oh,
Yeah.
that's when Tyson crumbled.
Yeah.
And who's that at ringside? Was that I'm gonna say it looked like. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I remember that. I remember that well, man. When Chacon knocked him down, I remember him
Yeah.
going
And
into the ropes.
I have that on my intro video.
I remember seeing it happen, but yeah, maybe that's why it's in my head because I don't remember the intro video. But yep, that was special. He
He
used
always
all.
got a lot of late round knockdowns. Like even the Bazooka Lamone fight, like it was the 15th round with 15 seconds left. Like
incredible. Just
that's crazy.
you can't teach heart, man.
On a close fight, you know what I mean? Like real close.
Can't teach heart.
Yeah.
Mm. And that fight right there was a fight of the year. I think that one was 83, but it was a Ring
Yeah.
Magazine fight of the year.
82,
Back to back
yep.
years. Fight of
Lamone
the year.
four, Lamone four was 82, and
Yep.
that was the back to back. Yeah, the fight of the year.
Mm.
And that was you know what? That was later in his career, bro.
Yeah.
So that's what surprised. That's what made it so special was that he became a world champion in '74, and here he is 8 years later getting another belt. You know what I'm saying?
And plus, he was even older than his age just because of the way he fought. And
Right.
I don't know if you would know better than me, but if he took care of himself in between fights, I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
I've heard stories, man, and to be honest, like I'm not real close with the side like he grew up with, like because I don't talk to his mother. Like I have no clue about that family out there. But
oh, really?
yeah, it was some drama, man. Like I said, my grandfather was deported and he got sent back, so he crossed back over, man. But they ended up going to Chicago, and he got a new wife and got my mom has other siblings, and the family's it's a big family, man. And we ended up coming back to the border, but he's always been in California. But their relationship was kind of weird, And even when he had money and all that, like my grandfather didn't reach out to him. He was very, I don't know how you say machismo. That's how a lot of
Yeah.
Mexicans are,
Yeah.
But once he got
my
older,
brother. JC, bro, thank you so much for coming by, my bro.
money was sent
I
to
don't
him
want to miss
money,
these
though.
guys. I don't want to miss these guys in here, Tim. Just let me shout them out here, my bro. Because man, I'll miss them, and I won't thank them. They'll be in here, and JC and Nitty G, my brother, man. Shout out to my brother Nitty G. But yep, bro. I mean, yeah, Bobby was definitely he was definitely in it with that rematch last
Right.
over Cornelius Boza Edwards. So great fight, man. This was, I don't know if you remember this one, bro. Everybody has to remember this rematch, man. This was a year before. This was, it was probably another fight of the year. And it definitely was one of my fights of the year, bro. Aaron Pryor and Alexis Aguayo.
Poor
Their first
Alexis.
fight. But that fight, man, that was a Remy, my brother, man. Shout out to you, my brother. Peace to you, man. Thank you for coming by. Always good to see Remy in here, man.
Alexis took so much punishment in that first fight at the end of that. I mean, he was brutalized at the end of that fight, and I was shocked they had a rematch. I don't think anyone picked Arguello to win the rematch, and he tried, man. He nailed Pryor with some shots, but he couldn't beat Aaron Pryor. You know, one of the greatest ever at 140 pounds.
Yeah, I didn't see this rematch live. I caught it a few days later, either on HBO or some other thing, but it wasn't available where I was at live. But the first fight was, and it was kind of like we all knew that Aguayo got such a beating in that fight. He couldn't possibly be the same. And then there were rumors of him abusing drugs and doing a lot of drinking. But still, this fight did have a little bit of magic to it. I was definitely hoping that we'd see the resurrection of Alexis Aguayo, or we'd see a rematch of that first fight.
I mean, this fight was the last fight that Aaron Pryor was really the Aaron Pryor that people remember, because he fought on after this, but his life got destroyed by drugs too.
Mm-hmm.
So he was never the same after these two fights himself.
Right.
Yeah, but Aguayo was trying. Pryor was just swarmed all over him.
But Arguello still hit him with those rights, and it just did nothing
And
in either fight.
Previous to pain.
Yeah, there it is. Arguello got the reach too.
Oh, Aguayo was a beautiful fighter, man, especially at 135. He was just unstoppable for a while there. His fight with Mancini.
Damn, Pryor he was just relentless.
Yeah, this was
Pryor had fast hands. Yeah.
Pryor had speed. Pryor could box too when he chose to. He boxed a lot in that first fight, but he was fast and he could be wild.
He had his own style. It was just a weird style, and it was just so effective because it was so hard to prepare for it, to defend against the guy. You know, he wasn't ambidextrous, but he would switch. He'd start leading with his right hand. He'd throw bolo punches, and he was just crazy. And we all know why now, because Aaron Pryor, just a victim of crack cocaine.
Just ruined his career, and he's still an all-time great Hall of Famer. But just imagine if
man, the 80s, they were all doing coke, man. That was a rich man drug for him back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I learned back in the late 70s that coke was bad, and I abstained from it in the 80s. 99% of the time I'd abstain from it, and that 1% I did, I'm like, this is bad stuff, and people around me saying, don't stay away from this stuff, and I'd start naming famous people who this destroyed or killed, and pretty soon, after the 80s passed, it wasn't such a glamorous thing anymore, and I don't even know
it
was
glamorous back then.
I don't even know if there's any fucking crack houses or if it even exists anymore. But man, thank God for that epidemic is gone, as far as I can see.
They got new
still doing coke. I think you flunked life's test.
Boy, Alexis kept trying. There was no quit in him. He kept trying to win the fight
from all angles.
Ooh. Look at it. Landed a big right there. Just Pryor was too good.
Was Pryor too good, or was there some shit going on back then? Who knows, right?
There could have been.
Because Aaron Pryor, he was Buddy De La Rosa. There's all kind of stories about him in the Cincinnati Mafia. And hey, man, we're hearing it today. We're hearing. Look at Jack Nicholson back there with the yellow jacket on, man, huh? Yeah. But yep. Somebody got something on in the background. Or is that you got a now I got the sound off on here. Who's that in the background?
Here, I'll mute it.
Mute that for me, will you please, my brother? We want to maintain quality over here. I got George over here, former executive producer for this program, so I'm going to hear it tomorrow. But yeah, bro. I mean, another great rematch, and man, so many of them. What are some of the other rematches, George? Just think of some off the top of your head that was so great, man. That we just don't see anymore, man.
I mean, Leonard Hearns too.
Leonard Hearns too.
Eight years after their first fight, and why that popped into my head was it was a completely different fight than the first one. When they had their rematch, Tommy Hearns was supposedly shot, and everyone said Sugar Ray was going to knock Tommy out in 2 or 3 rounds. Sometimes, man, these great fighters, they still have something left, and he kicked Sugar Ray Leonard's ass that night, even though it was a draw.
That was
it was a great rematch. It was full of drama. They weren't as good as they were when they fought 8 years before, but it was a great fight. It was a great fight.
Yes, it was, man. It was. And people didn't think it was much. I don't think it made. I don't know. I haven't looked into the pay-per-view sales and I know how big it was and how big a draw it was. But I do remember from a boxing fan's point of view, we weren't that excited because Tommy Hearns was supposed to be shot.
I was excited because my boy was going to destroy Tommy Hearns. Sugar Ray was going to do. That's what I was thinking going into that fight. I was like everyone else. I said Tommy's going to get knocked out. Sugar Ray's going to stop him within 3. No.
I thought Sugar Ray was damaged goods. Looking at him.
Going into that fight, Tommy Hearns had he just barely survived against, and I can't remember who he fought before. He was shaky. He had been knocked out by Barkley. James the Heat Kitchen. He got dropped against him and just looked like he didn't have a chin anymore. But there were rivals, man.
Yeah, once Tommy Hearns got stopped after Leonard, once he got stopped by Barkley and even
Hagler,
the great Hagler fight. His chin was always suspect after that. Not even suspect. We knew if you tagged Tommy was going down. And once Tommy went down, Tommy didn't do so good once he got back up. So like you said, man. But Sugar Ray was partying at the time. He was doing coke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he was overconfident. He thought the same thing. He probably figured there's an easy 10 million or whatever he made. I can party a little tonight. I'm only fighting Tommy Hearns. As soon as I hit him, he's going down. So yeah, I agree with you. Sugar Ray was doing his thing back then out of the ring, but it was a great rematch.
Shout out to Flawless Mark that's come in here, man. Peace to you, my brother. Always dig your show, man. Salute. And D-Ray, my brother. Salute, my brother D-Ray, man.
D-Ray Promotions.
I must have missed you coming in, D-Ray. Sorry about that, bro. I got these weird eyeballs, bro. I try to watch the thing, and I watch the fight. One of my eyes goes east, the other one goes west, and
I'm watching the fight, man.
I got blue eyes, as they say. One blue this way, one blue that way.
Somebody asked if we're going to watch the trilogy Saturday. I'm going to watch.
Oh yeah, bro, for sure, man, for sure.
But Canelo should be the favorite, but you never know, man. Great fighters. It's a big rivalry. I don't think Triple G is going to win the fight, but maybe he reaches down and
who knows,
and finds another gear and does something.
Triple G almost 400 times in that ring. He's never been knocked off his feet, let alone in trouble. I've never heard of him being in any kind of trouble, risk of being stopped. And everybody says Canelo early. I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Dude,
I've seen him get gifted once with Derevchenko, but
a little bit, yeah. But dude,
that's the one time. But even then, he
not
still won the fight technically.
Not even had a standing 8 count against him. What the fuck, bro? I mean, he's got a pretty solid chin.
Yeah,
86 boxing. Salute, my brother.
Triple G's got everything against him in this fight. He's 40. He's fighting at 168.
Right. Old.
You know, he's.
Yeah, man.
But,
you know, when I was 40, bro, when I was 40, I'd get on a Greyhound bus and fucking go on. Somebody fucking called me out on the internet. And if I was 40, bro, ooh, look out, man.
Hey, but you never know. They have those close fights, man. So you never know. Shit.
Look, I thought Triple G won the first fight. I thought the second fight was super close, but I thought Triple G won that first fight. Period. Like I thought it was close, but I didn't have it going either way. I thought Triple G won that first fight with Canelo.
Right.
But it was a draw.
You know, and I thought he won the second one narrowly, but I wasn't going to argue with a draw. I don't argue about anything, man. But the third fight, you know, maybe Triple G has the style for him.
Right.
Canelo, you know, everybody says Triple G's gotten older. Canelo's gotten older too, and Canelo's kind of lived a real soft life lately. He likes to play golf. He's got 100 gas stations in Mexico.
Hey, Bruce, Gabe's is backstage.
Oh, hang on a second, bro. I mean, let me get this off the stage here, and let me go back there and check him out. My brother G5. G5, what's happening, brother?
What's up, bro?
What's going on, my brothers? Salute.
G5. Dallas Cowboys. Woo!
Yeah, man.
Hey, listen, Gabe. I'm a Giants fan, but I'm not rubbing anything in anyone's face. I thought the Giants were going to lose their first game, so this might be the only time this season the Giants have a better record than the Cowboys. So
shit. Well, we got work to do, man. You know, we got to get our receiving corps going. We don't know if Dak gonna be out next game, so it's like, hey,
I heard Kaepernick's gonna be your quarterback.
I
heard Colin Kaepernick. That's what the rumor is.
No fucking football on this fucking channel, baby.
Hey, you should get Errol Spence to be your quarterback. Listen, Errol Spence doesn't have a fight coming up. They're not going to sign the fight with Crawford. They don't want to fight, so let him be the quarterback for the Cowboys. I say Errol Spence should be their quarterback.
He used to play football.
I know, and he was a good football player. So look, he's got nothing coming up. I mean, get a run on the football field. I say Errol should go for it.
Hey, G5.
Yes, sir.
Some of the best rematches that you'd like to talk about on here, bro, because we've been talking about rematches for the past hour or so, and that's what it's all about tonight, man.
Well, you know, Ali Frazier, you already know that's at the top of the list.
We didn't even talk about that one yet. We talked about the first fight, but the rematch itself was kind of like it wasn't so great, man. Ali totally dominated Frazier in the rematch, if I recall. Almost stopped him in the second round.
I look at it the fact that they went at it again. You know what I'm saying? We don't even get it. You know what I'm saying? We can't even get a person that had won by 2 rounds to fight that person again. That's too far-fetched these days. You have some fighters that will, but not all. So let's see. I wasn't even thinking about rematches. Now I got to put my thinking cap on. Give me a moment.
We can put. Let's see which other ones did I put in here to watch tonight? So we saw that one. We saw that one.
Well, Bruce, you know,
this is this right here. It might be a little long, but we can always cut something else into it, because I think this was probably one of the greatest rematches of all time.
Somebody said Burbick versus Holmes 2, the Las Vegas car park. That's what Joe said in the chat.
Joe,
that's pretty good.
LT, my bro, salute, man. Yeah, Joe's a character, man. Always showing me support, man. Always making comments. I appreciate that too, bro.
Holmes, my God.
Comments in there. I'll always.
Now you're talking. Method, and right here, this Tuesday night fights, when you show Bobby Chacon highlights and Matt.
We can pull out one more here. Let me see what I got here, man. What we have in the repertoire. Can you think of one, George, you'd like to find the highlights of, or let me see what I got here, and I'll
we were talking about Leonard Hearns too.
That one I could get in trouble for.
Then I mean, we could go. Well, we've done Leonard Duran too.
Yeah, we've done Lenny Duran too. Let's see here. Let's see.
I
Uh,
mean, we could home Schaefer's too was a
we, I,
rematch where
I got
we just did a Schaefer's
got hit.
show.
I got hit for doing that one last week
Did you
when we did.
really?
Yeah, I don't know if you're with me. I did the Ernie Shavers and all the fights, no problem. But the Shavers Holmes too. That one I got not a strike, but just a copyright thing for. But I could cut it out, so I cut it out and it's good now. But they that wouldn't that that was no good. I don't want to get too many of those of the copyright hits.
Which is sad because we're just promoting the sport.
I know we are. Let me see. Rematch.
Man, I remember Vinny Pazienza and Greg Haugen.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, for sure.
They fought 3 times, I think. I remember those fights.
Mm-mm-mm. Let me find highlights here, man. Let me just put highlights in there.
Oh, rematches we never talked about. We never talked about Mickey Ward, and Arturo Gatti.
Oh, bro.
See, you can, and Morales and Barrera. Like this show, you could just go on and on and on and on.
Mm. Mm. I get the whole fight here. I wanted to get 2.
God, Morales and Barrera. Oh, so many.
So many.
Pacquiao Marquez. Jesus. Pacquiao Morales. There's just. By the way, that the Triple G Canelo fight, I think if you don't have the zone, it's like $85.
I heard that. I heard 70,
Something like that.
84.95.
Yeah.
A new record for that. Yeah, this is I believe it's the 4th round, 404. So this is probably the last part of the fight. But yep, Vinny Paz and Greg Haugen rematch. And Vinny Paz told me that this was the last 15-round championship fight ever shown on television.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So this is a landmark. El Chindo, salute my brother. I thank you for coming in here, man. I appreciate it. Oscar Prince, man, salute my bro. Yeah, man, this is my goon bar, Rhode Island Zone, Vinny Paz. I hope to have him on here
Yeah.
tonight,
How can
man.
you not love Vinny Paz?
Yeah, he's a true athlete, man. He came back from a broken neck. He won 5 world titles, man.
Hey
And
man, they made a Hollywood movie out of his
Hollywood
life.
movie about
Hollywood movie.
Oh, yep, and he keeps that alive too, man. Miles Teller, and Vinny's he's an active guy. He's a globetrotter. He's an ambassador to the sport, and he's just a great guy to talk to. I've been on a panel with him once before, and I communicate with him on Twitter. And man, I want to get him on here on a Tuesday night and chop it up. And hey, it'll happen. Good things happen to those that wait. And we got a lot of shit happening, man. I got a confirmation, man. Ray Mercer's going to be coming on here, George.
Oh, Merciless Ray.
Merciless Ray, bro. So keep your ears open, and it won't be long too. It'll be within the next couple of weeks. We're gonna have a good time talking to him. There's a lot of controversy going on, and Ray's a salty dog, bro. He's gonna jump right into it, and he don't take shit from nobody.
See, that's the sad thing. Like, just because you have an opinion, if it doesn't fall in line with someone else, you get attacked for it now. Just for an opinion. It's an opinion. And you get attacked. I mean, that's a whole other
insane, man. Insane, especially a man, a fucking hero to us, man. Tuesday night fights, fucking guy fought everybody, man. People always getting by on Tommy Morrison. Bullshit, man. Look up his record, bro. He was in the ring with everybody he could possibly be in with, and he had a lot of controversial fights that people say he should have won, that he lost, and Ray Mercer, he's got a crazy career. That's why I'm looking forward to talking to him because he doesn't want, he won't hold back on anything. I asked him if he cared about what we talk. Yeah, I don't give a fuck what you talk about.
Good.
Real short answer, man, and nice guy. But yeah, man. This is what it's all about over here.
So this first fight, Paz won a decision. He beat Haugen. I think Haugen had the belt, and Paz became champ. So they had a rematch like 6 months later.
I was at that fight. It was at the Rhode Island
The first one?
Providence Civic Center. Yeah, the first fight.
Wow.
I was at that fight. It was
the place must have been going crazy.
Yeah, and I watched the fight, and I thought Paz lost the fight.
The first one.
The first one, yeah.
Wow.
I'm a Paz man, but I thought Haugen beat him, and it was a close fight. It could have gone either way, but just that watching it that live, I thought Paz lost the fight, and he got the hometown decision. He might not come on out for hearing this, maybe, but this is what I thought, and those two they still don't like each other to this day.
I know.
Paz says he'd choke him out if he sees him.
But Haugen showed in this. I mean, Haugen won this second fight pretty widely, and he showed that he could box because he was he was a tough guy. I think he used to be in tough man competitions back in the day.
Oh yeah,
some skill. He had some skill because he boxed against Paz a lot in this rematch.
Mr. Doc lives in the town where Haugen is from.
Oh,
Mr.
really?
Doc has a story. He had a story to tell us, and Haugen was being aggressive with a couple of ladies in his car, and a couple of dudes tried to go up there and help the ladies, and Haugen decked these two fucking guys within seconds. Got back in the car and took off. But fucking incredibly tough guy. Fought tough man contest in Alaska. Was 135 pounds fighting these fucking 250-pound gorillas, undefeated. But yeah, just a special animal. And Pazienza is another one. He's as tough as they come.
Yeah.
And when these two guys got together, it was war. It was fucking war. I mean,
I remember when Haugen fought Chavez in Mexico and said Chavez beat a bunch of cab drivers, and Chavez beat the holy mess out of Haugen in that fight.
One-sided beatdown. Even he kind of carried him just so he could inflict more.
Yep.
And you didn't have much of a rematch. Chavez, he didn't get too many people asking for rematches because he was hurting on you. Only towards the end of his career.
But Haugen was another guy. Haugen fought all the time on TV. Vinny Pazienza back then fought all the time on TV.
Oh yeah, I remember Haugen fighting Jimmy Paul. Vinny Paz has this incredible knockout of Melvin Paul.
Oh yeah,
USA. It's just unfucking believable. It's one of the throws it from left field and it lands flush. And he even says it was the hardest punch he ever landed. But yeah, man, Vinny and Haugen to this day they don't like each other, and this is rematches, bro. This is the way some go, and there's just so many. Like we said, for a second we had a little bit of a moment, but then all of a sudden they just come in your head one after another, and man.
I'll tell you what, but Vinny Paz, they did fight a third time in 1990, and Vinny Paz won that third fight. So they had their own trilogy. Vinny got two of three against Haugen.
All right. Well, all their fights on the East Coast, Atlantic City.
The third one was AC. The second one was in AC, and the first one was Civic Center, Providence. So, yep, yep.
Yeah, he was a draw in the East Coast. That's where the money was.
My God, I mean, looking at you get sucked into the box rec game. Just the guys he fought: Melvin Paul, Bum City Bumpus, Harry Arroyo,
Hmm, hmm.
Greg Haugen, Roger Mayweather, Hector Camacho, Lloyd
Roberto,
Hunnigan, Robbie Sims, Roberto Duran, Roy Jones. Like, oh my God.
it's mind-boggling. I mean, he was a warrior. I mean, you don't fight people like that. And the normal career, you're lucky you had one of those names on your career. Lucky. This guy's got a fucking flock of them on there. And
I like,
Haugen too. Look at Haugen. Haugen's got
oh my
got
God.
a
Yeah.
comparable record himself, man. All those
He,
names
he
you were
had
named, I was
he
waiting
had
like,
50 fights. Haugen had 50 fights in his career.
and when
Jimmy Paul, he beat Jimmy Paul. Jimmy Paul was a good fighter.
Jimmy Paul was awesome. He was a killer.
He fought Charlie Brown, White Lightning Brown.
Yeah, yeah.
He fought Jeff Bumpus. Haugen also fought and beat Freddie Roach. Pernell Whitaker,
Mm-hmm.
Hector Camacho. He was the first guy to beat Hector
First,
Camacho.
yeah, yeah.
Ray Mancini.
Rematch with him too.
Yep. He fought Mancini. He fought
Mancini
Chavez. Wow.
kicked Mancini's ass.
Oh yeah, he's sure. Ooh, man. Yeah, he ended Ray's career. Ray didn't fight again after that.
But man, good stuff. They're hugging over here at the end of it, but they never hugged. To this day, Vinny says he'd choke him out if he saw him.
That's too bad. Too bad they can't, you know.
And and who knows? Who knows what would happen if they hooked up?
Yeah. You hate to see them still have the animosity. I mean, they had 3 great fights. But that's how it goes sometimes. This is not in the movies everyone makes up and it's happy. Real life isn't like that all the time. So,
Well, we're fortunate enough to relive some good shit over here, man.
listen, and we didn't even talk about Morales Barrera and Gotti Ward. Imagine how long of a show you could do just talking about rematches. I mean, we've been on 2 hours and haven't even talked about some of the greatest rematches ever.
Well, that'll give us fresh fuel for when I have one of these fucking days. And hey, I just remember, but we're definitely gonna get a guest on here next week. I'm gonna reach out there and see what I can do. I have a couple of different avenues, and then whatever happens, it's gonna be Tuesday night fights, and I'll be here. I hope my brother George is here, and
Yes,
and
sir.
I hope the rest of the usual cats bop in here. And man, we're gonna be doing that out for you. So George, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Just waiting for Tuesday to come around again. That's what I'm waiting for. Waiting for the next fight night, Tuesday night fights, man. Love doing this.
I appreciate you here, my brother. And anything you're going to be putting out some more of those 5 minute with George videos?
Yeah, I'm actually working on one now that hopefully tomorrow or Thursday it'll be finished. So that's fun. I call it 1 round with George. It's a pretty long round, but it is 5 minutes long, so it's not really.
Well,
3-minute round.
forgive me.
I'm a little liberal with the 3 minutes, So
I'm a little liberal with the memory these days, but nothing but love to you, my brother. Thank you
Yes,
once
sir.
again for coming on, and God bless you. I'll see you next week, man.
All right,
Peace.
brother.
All right, man. Good shit, man. Once again, thank you so much, George. Rolling with the punches. Salute, my brother, man. Come in here, give me a view, my bro. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you in here, bro. I don't know if you were in here earlier, but I was just bullshitting with my brother George and Skywalker and G5. We're talking about some of the best rematches we've seen back in the day, and we brought them up here. And man, it's always good to talk boxing. Bruce Gas is puffing on some good weed over here. I got some dosey dough that I'm hitting on, and just enjoying my early evening on September 13th, Tuesday the 13th. in the PM gives you nice, kind of like mini rushes. You know, you get to another level every hit on the Toka 2 you take. I gotta do another weed show pretty soon. Get a bunch of weed heads on here and just kind of talk about the herb. Always good to see you, my brother Roland. Yep, just search George Jakovic for sure, man. Go over there and check out George. He's grown by leaps and bounds, and I mean, you know just by listening to him here, George knows his shit, and I keep him under control, so George doesn't tell all his secrets. He's got a bunch of them over on his channel, bro, and he's a hell of a guy to know, bro. A hell of a guy to know and to listen to, and man, he's got a wealth of experience, and you know, shout out to my brother George, and thank you, my brother, for becoming a part of Tuesday Night Fight. I can count on you like I can count on my wife being with me every day. So man, this is Bruce Gas, kind of signing off for the night. I appreciate you coming in here, man. You know, keep your eyes open because I've been doing a lot of lives. I did one this morning. I'm probably maybe doing another one tomorrow. Who knows, man? You know, it's a lot of fun, and you know, we can talk some boxing. I'll go in and I'll check out some of my publications I get emailed to me first thing in the morning. See what's going on in boxing. See what happened last night. See what's going to happen tomorrow, and you know, man, have your cup of coffee. We go through that. Do a few hits on the joints. I like those joints early in the morning. If I'm going to kick back and you know, did a lot got done today. Tomorrow, oh no, tomorrow I got. Oh, I forgot. I gotta go for my physical tomorrow, and that's why I gave blood the other day. Yesterday was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So I still got the fucking gash in my arm, man. They fucking hacked me, bro. They did. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I gotta go for my physical tomorrow, which is cool, man. Because I want to get this on this EKG they give you. I want to get this extra fucking sonic fucking thing they give you where they can check out blockages in your valves. Because that's how my brother Jerry died. He thought he had pulled a rib. And he got a massage and made it even worse. And he went to bed, didn't wake up the next day, didn't seek medical help. And from what I understand, man, this simple test when you get an EKG will tell you if those arteries are blocked, if you have any blockages. So, you know, this is what he passed from. And I'm fortunate enough to have that physical tomorrow, man, and get that information down. I know everything else is going to be cool because I take care of myself. I drink a lot of water. I take my vitamins. I say my prayers, and I get as much exercise as I can get. And, you know, try to keep one step ahead of the Grim Reaper. You know, and right now it's doing okay on a day by day basis. Love that water, man. It slipped out of my hand. But it's funny, man. The fucking water. I get 5-gallon containers delivered. They're supposed to be inside the month every 27 days. But last month it didn't seem to come that fast. I had to go to the store a couple of times and buy cases of water. But yet they called me up and they delivered 4. No, they delivered 5. And they're going to make another delivery tomorrow, and I still have. I just put one on there today, and I have one in the backup. So I'm going to have a lot of those 5 gallons in here. But crazy, you know, it's an automatic withdrawal thing, and I guess it. Sometimes you're too trusting to other people. I think it's $24.99 a month, and maybe it went up to $26. I don't know. I got to pay more attention. But you can't drink the water out of the taps over here. You can, but you got to. Not if you drink it like I do. I drink water all the time, and I like water. I taste it. You know, there's nothing like the taste of the water that I drink. I'm not going to promote the company. Fuck them. Let him pay Bruce Gas for his endorsements. But anyway, man, thank you so much for coming in here. It's been a gracious 2 hours plus, and Had a good time talking about boxing, talking about rematches, going over the fights, man. Watching some of the great memory fights with my brother George, with Skywalker, watching with his uncle Bobby Chacon, and with G5, man. You know G5, he loves his boxing, bro. He's don't let that tough son bitch fool you, bro. He loves the technicalities of a fight. He's a historian. He goes back in the books and he studies fights and he knows his shit, man. He's learning more and more about the future, about the past of boxing. He knows about the future. He knows what he likes. Thank you for coming by, my brother. I appreciate it, man. I'm out of here, bro. Thank you for coming by. Please hit that like button. Please come again if it's your first time. Like my buddy Skinny says, don't make it your last time. Thank you, my brothers. Thank you, my sisters. Bruce Gas is out of here, man. Peace.